Blog Talk Radio.
The following program concerns sports gambling. The Sports Gem Network in no way condones illegal gambling. The opinions expressed on this program are only opinions, and the network is in no way responsible for your use of this information in any form of gambling. We are not responsible for any monetary losses as a result of this program. Although if you win something and want to share it with the show, please email us.
Welcome to What Are the Odds? Here's your hosts, Vince O'Connor and Bobby DeNaro.
Good evening. I'm Vince O'Connor alongside in studio with Bobby DeNaro. We are What Are the Odds, powered by the Sports Jam Network. Well, it's Friday night. We're back in the studio again. What's going on?
What's up, baby?
You tell me, man. I know you're.
Nothing.
This is baseball. See, baseball playoffs.
Hey, this is what we talked about. This is what we've been waiting for. We said baseball. Where you want, if you want to make money, baseball is the place to do it. Okay? Get excited by football. Make money in baseball. So we are very excited that the baseball playoffs have kicked off at 5 o'clock today, and we're rolling once again this week. I'm happy to say.
Scores 4-2. The Cardinals. It's in the top of the seventh, and I know you have the Cardinals.
I do, and that's easy to say when it's 4-2. Obviously, the game's not over. I did like Atlanta this morning. I did a last change and went over to St. Louis.
Typically, when that happens,
you lose.
Which
is possible. They could lose later. I did it for a couple of reasons. One, because Medlin, although he's been dominant, 12-1, he hasn't pitched in the playoffs. I know he has the propensity to be a little wild. He's very young, and he's facing, let's face it, the World Series champs.
Yeah.
And the line was high. He was laying 170. You can get back 150 with St. Louis, and I thought the value was good. I want to lay huge wood in the second game, so I said to myself, I'm probably going to lose if I lay big wood in both games. So I switched. And hopefully that works out for us.
Very good. Now, as we're speaking with results, let's go over like we do every week. We'll go over the previous week's bets that we had.
We can do that. I mean, the win-loss is not going to be staggering, but like I said last week, we have to, our denominations, we have to, games that we really like, we have to come out on, and games that we're lukewarm on, we have to go easy. And thank God we did, because we weren't great. I think we were 5-3.
We were 5-3, and basically, when you're 5-3, you're probably real close to a push kind of a week. But
if you bet the same denominations with the VIG, it's close to being even, right?
Exactly, but we didn't do that, and what we did was we started the week out with 10,970 Sports Jam bucks. We had the Miami Marlins versus Philadelphia. Miami won that game 2-1, and I know you were real impressed with that pitching performance last week.
Yeah. I was high on that game. I was high on both of those baseball games, actually.
That was plus 140. We bet 600 on that game. That gave us a win of $840.
Oh, it's great when you bet underdogs. We risked 600. We made 840. Those are beautiful.
And then the second game we did was Washington at St. Louis. It was minus 134. We put another 600 on that on St. Louis, and we won 600 because they were the favorites. So we came out of last week, 2 baseball games. We came out $1,440 ahead.
Baseball's where it's at. I keep telling you that,
Right. And
it's not exciting, and a lot of players, when football starts, they sleep on baseball. That's it. They're done. It doesn't matter. They go right to sleep.
Not you.
No, you can't. Well, we're trying to make money.
Right. So that put us up to 12,410 Sports Jam bucks. And then we go to the college football, where we really didn't fare that well, but we really didn't get hurt that bad, because we had a big bet on FSU last week that we won against USF. We'll talk about that game a little bit later on, because I do want to point something out on that game. But We had NC State +2 against Miami, and Miami won that game outright, 44-37. So
listen, they threw a Hail Mary with 20 seconds left that scored a touchdown. You can make excuses of why you lose these games. We're not going to do that. We lost the game, okay? You know, again, you're going to win, you're going to lose. But in order to make money, we were smart. I said I didn't love the game. You said, then why are you betting it? I probably should have said, forget about that game. You almost talked me out of it. So I put $3 on it, and then we lost on a Hail Mary at the end of the game.
So we lost $330 there. That brought us down to $12,080 for our Sports Jam bucks. Then we go to Missouri versus Central Florida. Central Florida was -2. I felt you really liked this game.
I loved it, and I watched every second of the game. And I got to tell you that Central Florida dominated them the whole game. And again, you can make excuses. We lost on a punt return. They dominated them. A special teams punt return touchdown by Mizzou, and they started hanging their hats. And it was a close game. I don't know what the final was. Tell me what the final was.
It was 21-16.
21-16. I mean, I had a big smile on my face the whole game. I got to be honest with you. Until the bitter end.
So we had a dime on that game, so that means we lost $1,100 with the VIG. That brought us down to 10,980 Sports Jam bucks, which still up, but we go to the next game. The next game on our slate was FSU versus USF. That was at South Florida last week, and you really liked South Florida getting 16 points in that game.
I did. Gave you all the reasons why. We're not going to go over the reasons again.
Don't need to, but the final score was 30-17 FSU. We covered on that. We had a dime on that game. That brought us right back up to $11,980. Then we go to yet another college game. It was Clemson versus Boston College, and you liked Boston College in this game. I don't think you really love this game because I remember I jotted down a note that we don't love it.
Right.
We just kind of like it. I don't know if it was just you wanting to make a bet on this game.
Well, listen, here's what we're saying. This is a perfect example, and I think I said it last week. We bet 8 games. That's crazy. You got to bet less games if you want to win. We got hooked into betting 8 games. I had an opinion. I was rolling, feeling good, winning money, and thought that I was a know-it-all and picked 8 games. Big mistake. We can even admit that on our show. Yes, we made money. We made substantial money, but we still bet too many games. We should have bet less games and more dollars. So go on.
So that was Boston College +7. The final score in that game was Clemson 45-31.
And it wasn't that close.
It wasn't that close.
No, Clemson dominated them. The game was ugly. I'm not impressed by BC at all. And the flip side, very impressed by Clemson. Got to be honest.
So we lost $330 there, including the VIG. That brought us to 11,650 Sports Jam bucks. Then we go to our last college game of the week last week. It was, once again, Louisville and Southern Miss.
Well, love betting against Louisville so far.
We had Southern Miss +10.5.
Should have won the game again.
Yeah, we had 600 Sports Jam bucks on that. Louisville won the game 21-17, which means we obviously covered. We got a win there. That gave us another 600 in the kitty. That brought us up to $12,250.
Too bad Louisville's not playing again this week. I think they got to buy.
What are you trying to say?
I'd bet against them again. I think they're off, though.
All right. That leads us to our last game of the week, which was Miami versus Arizona in the NFL.
Love the game.
I know you were like foaming. You love this game so much.
I did.
It was a very, very, very hard fought game. We watched the game together. Arizona won the game in overtime, 24-21. We had Miami +5.5. We had it for 2 dimes. That brought our winnings up to 14,250 Sport Jam bucks.
I've been saying all week, I called into your show on Monday, that we're up over 30%. I'm sorry, we're up over 40%.
Right.
So I kind of been, I've been a little wrong on the numbers, unfortunately.
So I'm not going to close the book completely on last week because what I do want to discuss is Vince made a few bets last week as a square bettor.
He did.
And I did pretty good with the exception of Monday night, which was not on our show last week, but I came out Monday night on the Real Sports Jam show, and you laughed at me.
I did. I said I hated the game. You guys weren't going to force me to make a selection on the game. I wouldn't bet it. Gun to my head, I wouldn't bet it. You guys kept pushing. I said I bet the under. That was a loser. You said, well, you were going to come out on it, and you were going to bet Dallas, the under, and a parlay with Dallas and the under. I don't need to tell you what happened. Chicago and the over. So, again, this is a learning experience for anyone that's listening.
No doubt about it.
You got caught up in it. You got sucked into betting.
No question.
And like Chad said, you don't have to bet. If you don't like the game, don't bet. Don't. I said to you guys, I pleaded, I don't want to watch this game tonight with no money. I don't, and I didn't want to. I wanted the money, but I don't like it. And you know what? For what? Take a stab, roll the dice, and lose. And then I got to spend the rest of the week trying to get out of the hole. I'm not going to do it when a game like on Thursday night, the Rams comes up, which was a great game that we smashed. So, that's a perfect example of why you should stay away from things that you're lukewarm on or you have no idea or you want to guess.
All right, so basically what I had in my bets last week I had the under 41.5 in the Michigan State-Ohio State game. I had Oregon State +3 against Arizona, which was another win. I had Carolina +7 last week against Atlanta. I won that one. I lost the Cincinnati-Jacksonville over 43.5, and I won the New York Giants-Philadelphia game when I said I put 100 on the under 47. So I came out with 290 to the plus side. If you minus out my $165 on Monday night, for a square, I still won a little over $100.
Wow. What does that show you? I guess anybody can do this then. That's pretty damn good for betting 5 games on Saturday and Sunday going 4-1. But you got caught up in it. You know what I mean? You got caught up in it.
No doubt about it. I was ahead, and I thought, you know what? Let me just throw it out.
You asked me my opinion. I said I hated it. I said stay away from it. You didn't want to listen, and you gave back some of your hard-earned winnings. This happens all the time. But this is what we love to talk about every week. We try to teach and educate. 5-2 St. Louis.
There you go. It's 5-2 St. Louis, and it's in the 7th inning. My name is Vince O'Connor. I'm joined alongside Bobby De Niro on the Sports Jam Network. The call-in number for our show tonight is 646-716-6359. Anybody wants to give a call in, have a question, want to talk about a game that's coming up this weekend, feel free to do so. So here's something that I wanted to talk to you about, and I find it rather comical, to be real honest with you. We talked about all these sports guys, so-called sport guys, and some of them make a living doing this. And what they do is they basically charge for the information that we give away for free. And I'm not going to name any names. I don't want to name any names, but we listened to a guy who was charging $50 to come out on his big bet of the week last week, and that bet was FSU and USF.
Yeah, he liked USF. It was his 5-star play. He gave out a winner, but you had to pay $50 to get it.
Now, I mean, what kind of a guy, besides the square, I know, but what kind of a guy wants to pay for that kind of information?
Well, here's what I think. I'm not 100% sure if I'm accurate, but they prey really on the weak. People that are down, people that have lost a whole bunch of games in a row, feel like they don't know what they're doing. They're looking to get out. This guy's going to throw out all sorts of stats at you, tell you, that he's this, he's that. He's done this over the last 10 years. These guys make money on this. I don't know. They advertise, I guess, extensively, in newspapers and on the radio. They spend money in advertising, and I guess there's always going to be that'll take a shot or give a call, and it's only $50, and they're going to spend money. I mean, I don't know.
But here's my point. We're giving away the information for free.
Yeah, we love that game.
But we're not as well known as some of these other guys, so therefore what they're looking at is, maybe I should pay for that because maybe it's a little bit better than what Bobby's giving me.
Yeah.
And what?
I tend to think like, when you're shopping for wine, you got to buy all that's $15 and you got to buy all that's $80. Not all all the time, the $80 bottle is not always better than the $15 bottle.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
And we know that.
We definitely know that. Yes, we're giving out for free, but more than that, listen, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to document picks. Not only that, we're going to put denominations next to them, and we're going to try to win for the year. I don't believe anybody does that. Someone might say at the end of the year, yeah, they're 53 and 35.
What's that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
You bet 2,000 here or 200 here. You never know. Are you making money?
Exactly.
And the point of what we're doing here is
Exactly.
we're here to earn money.
Exactly.
And that's what we've done this week, we were 5-3.
And we earned big.
It
was our best week.
Exactly.
And we were 5-3. But listen, we're going to take our own lessons from last week. Yes, we're hot. We're winning. We're rolling again this week. But we're going to try to narrow it down, be more selective. And the baseball playoffs, we're going to concentrate heavily into baseball.
You love baseball, don't you?
That's where you can make money.
Yeah, and just as an example, give me an idea. What did you do last year during the baseball playoffs? Did you do well?
Oh, my God, I killed it.
Really?
I salivate waiting for the baseball playoffs to come. I killed it. I don't have a dollar amount, but I know that I had a big smile on my face throughout the playoffs and the World Series.
So you did well.
I did. I believe I do. Listen, I'm not going to say I do well every year because that's just going to sound like BS. You know what I mean? But hockey playoffs and baseball playoffs is the time to make money. Forget about the NFL this week. Forget about college football. Start sailing on some of these baseball games and even more so, the series. I love a couple of series bets. So you know what? You're not trying to pick the games. You can put a larger bet on a series play and not try to pick the individual games and have tremendous enjoyment.
Well, listen, we're a little over 15 minutes into the show, and it looks like we have a phone call, and this may be our buddy from Louisiana. You feel like taking a call?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a call. 504 area code. You're on the air with Bobby and Vince. How you doing tonight?
You would be correct. It is your buddy in Louisiana, Sean. Good morning, guys.
How you doing, Sean?
Oh, life is wonderful.
Good.
How are you guys today?
We had our biggest week last week, and we missed you last week.
I overslept. I apologize. I set my alarm for 6 o'clock today, although I beat it up by 30 minutes. But I have decided that as much as I enjoy you guys, I will be setting my alarm for 6 p.m. Central Time, of course, in my case. I will be planning on a little bash the bookie segment with y'all every week.
Nice.
Well, listen, we appreciate you calling in, man. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, just wanted to give some people a few tidbits for this weekend.
Shoot, let's hear them.
It seems like when I've been on, I've been pretty consistent and rolling really well. So I want to keep the good vibes going.
Yeah,
we respect.
I wasn't on last week, and I didn't have a particularly good week last week, but I'm just going to go with what works.
You get hurt, pro or college?
Yeah, a little bit of both, actually. I've got 3 games in mind that I want to just throw a few tidbits out there. Tonight, get y'all rolling through the week.
Yep.
Really like the under in the Utah State game tonight. I think it's 46 or 45 and a half. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game ended 13-10, 16-10, something along those lines. The two of them combined are 7-1 against the under. And believe it or not, Utah State is really, really good. BYU might get a little more pub defensively, but Utah State's every bit as good. They're 5-0 against the spread. They should be undefeated. They missed a short field goal against Wisconsin. Should have won that game in Wisconsin, too. They're not afraid. They seem to be, maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but they seem to be starting to maybe follow Boise's path a little bit. They just, anywhere, anytime, come get some of this. And they have a sophomore quarterback that's really, really solid. BYU is without their starting quarterback again this week, and even though Riley Nelson, who's their leader, they had a freshman play last week in Hawaii, and, they drummed him, and this kid can run, but he's still a freshman.
Well,
so I think there's good.
Can somebody tell me what the point spread in this game tonight?
45.
7 and 46, 45 and a half, 45, depending on what book you get it at.
Yeah, I got it at 6.5 and 45. Okay, you like the under?
Absolutely love the under tonight.
I have no can't agree or disagree.
What about the game?
I like Utah State, actually. I could see them actually winning this game outright. And I did bet both, but I bet more on the under in the game.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of a stat. The last 4 times that Utah State has played BYU, they're 4-0 against the spread.
Yeah, I have no opinion. Let's go to the next game. I don't know. That's
all right.
Go to sleep game, but it's all right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna throw one college in there for y'all as well. One Saturday game, since I've decided I want to try and get one game every day. NC State getting 17, I believe, from Florida State. This is Florida State's first game outside of Florida. It's supposed to rain, and generally in spots like this, teams that are 5-0 to start the year, straight up I'm talking about, teams that are 5-0, roughly 30% of them lose Game 6. This is the kind of spot to get them. Against the spread over the last 51 games, teams that are 5-0 are 17, 34, and 1 against the spread in their 6th game on the road.
Wow.
This is the type of spot, and the line has gone steadily up. Everybody's betting Florida State. You know, by kickoff, it can be 20 or 21. That'd be just fine with me because I know it opened at like 14 or 14 and a half. I'll just take the rain and NC State, and, you know, Florida State can win the game 24-21, 24-17, something along those lines. But I expect NC State to cover the game relatively easily and give them all they can handle.
Well, I honestly can't say that I don't disagree with you because the last 7 times Florida State's been at North Carolina State, they're 1-6 against the spread. So I tend to agree with you. I think Florida State will win the game, but I think that North Carolina State will cover.
I'm also in agreement with that, which is really scary since we all agree. Which Ryan means it's a loser. Florida State will probably win by 40. I am not going to be betting that game. I'm not going to be giving my opinion on that game. But if I was to bet it, I'd probably take the 16.5. Or like you said, whatever else the betting public raises it up to. Especially if the weather's going to be bad, too. You know,
and
I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it.
I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
I'm saying I don't love it. FSU, I said that they win the national championship. I still believe that. They're number 4 in the nation. And, you know, what motivates these teams when they get up into the, top 5 to do what they do when they're winning is beyond me. So, I mean, if they have a 10-point lead with 10 minutes to go, I mean, I don't know. They could look to really hammer them home. I don't know.
I agree. I think Florida State's the best team in the country right now. And I still think they're going to win the national title. I absolutely believe that.
I respect them.
I think they're a really, really, really good team.
Yeah,
and I realize they got to beat an SEC team, but they look like the best team in the country in my eyes. They've passed my eye test.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother. I like the points. What's your third game?
The Giants laying 9.5, 9 against Cleveland. I love Cleveland in this game. It's simple. Everybody thinks, for whatever reason, the public, the bookies, think Cleveland is just absolutely horrid. They're 8-2-1 in the last 11 against the spread. And until they stop covering, I'm just going to keep taking Cleveland. I'll take all these bushels of points, and they'll find a way to lose a game. No doubt about that. They'll find some retarded way to lose by 4 or by 6. But 9 is just too many. And, I realize the Giants are Jekyll and Hyde, but 8-2-1 for an awful team like Cleveland is still 8-2-1. And until they stop covering, I'll just keep taking them. And the bushels of points that they're going to get weekly.
I can't disagree with you. It's not a game that I'm going to come out on. Looks like you're looking for a dog day weekend with those 3 dogs. Tonight, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 dogs.
Well, let me throw in
the last one.
Before you go to your last one, let me throw in my 2 cents here. I think both of you are out of your minds. I think Cleveland doesn't have a chance of covering this game. I think the Giants are going to bury these guys. I wouldn't be surprised if this game didn't end up being like a 35-14 game. Giants looked way too good last week.
Exactly. And they're about it. Seems like that whole division is Jekyll and Hyde. The NFC East, you don't know what you're going to get from each team week to week. And I don't believe that any of those teams in the NFC East can put two good games together.
I like this guy, man.
I'm not going to disagree with that, especially when it comes if we're talking about Dallas. But on the flip side, since we're real close to the Giants here, I really think that they're a lot better than guys are giving them credit for. Even though they're not in first place in that division, I still think that they're the best team in that division.
Listen,
let me say they might
something.
be the best team in that division, but they seem to have this that they can just sleep through the middle of the season and then just turn it on whenever they want to. It's starting to get towards the middle of the season. It's time for them to start sleepwalking again.
No, I think that doesn't happen until right around week 7 or 8, and I think they may lose it for a couple weeks and then they finish strong, especially going into the playoffs. So I don't see a let-up this week. I just don't see it, especially against the Cleveland Brown team that may be without Trent Richardson this week.
Richardson will play. He's a warrior. I don't have a doubt in my mind.
About it. I mean, I think the reason why he's out is not because he's hurt. It's because his wife's pregnant, getting ready to give birth to their kid.
Oh,
so.
I didn't read that, but somehow I think he'll still be there.
Yeah.
There are a couple things.
I think worst case scenario, if the doctor said she was close, they would induce Fridays. He'd fly out there and come back Saturday night.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Well, one thing I want to say that I like what he does. I'm not saying I like his games this week, not by any means. But the fact that he's picking one game tonight, one game on Saturday, and one game on Sunday gives him an opportunity to be a winner. You know, and this is what we're talking about. If he started going down the board, telling me 5 games he liked on Sunday, I'd laugh at him. But you know what? He's betting one game tonight. He loves one game on Saturday. He likes one game on Sunday. He's got a shot. The man's got a shot to be a winner. You're not a baseball fan, obviously, because you didn't even talk about the baseball.
I am a baseball fan, but I plan on being a fan for the baseball playoffs.
You see what happens? You see how football dominates? This is a great example. He's a baseball fan, but he wants to talk about betting the BYU. Who are they playing tonight?
Utah State.
Utah State
game tonight. When you got the baseball playoffs that have kicked off, it's amazing. I'm telling you. I don't know what it is. I think it's some kind of Swami powder that they float around in the air.
There's a reason.
Go ahead.
I grew up in Chicago. I'm a Cubs fan. Baseball season ends in mid-April for me.
So you're sour.
Baseball season in April.
I'm not sour. I'm not sour. I enjoy baseball. I just lost my fantasy championship in baseball. I'm a little heartbroken by it, but I mean, I don't want to get my emotions involved in baseball. I'm a little ticked off, actually.
Well,
so I just assume avoid.
I keep saying how you can make money in baseball. I mean, obviously you haven't tapped into that. You're just a fan.
No, baseball, and this is a tip for everybody, avoid the run line, first of all. That is the first thing to avoid. Avoid the run line. Second thing, when you see a team that's minus 200 or 240, avoid that too. Avoid those big.
I'm not going to avoid it tonight.
What was that?
I totally agree with what you're saying, though. He's right. The run line is for suckers. And, you can't make a living laying 200, 240. He's absolutely right. These things that we went over, in our first 3 weeks, this guy's sharp. I like him calling in. I respect your opinion. I listen to what you say. And as always, I wish you the best of luck this week, man. I hope you call in next week and you went 3-0.
Well, there was actually one more I had. I was planning on betting 4 games this week.
All right, one more. Don't get crazy. What is it?
Tell us.
That's New England laying the wood to Denver this week. And that line seems so big. And I'm normally not a big proponent of laying a lot of points. And that line's 7, 7.5, 7, 7.5, depending on where you get it. And just New England hasn't really seemed all that impressive to me, Denver's looked okay for the most part, but Denver's been bad on the road. And the fact that New England's laying 7 or 7.5, it points to one thing, that New England is going to absolutely obliterate this team this week.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you, but the one thing I will disagree with you on is that you can't tell me that New England didn't look awesome last week. I mean,
they looked good for a quarter and a half last week.
Well,
or did you
know
forget
what?
They were down 21-7 in the third.
I hear what you're saying, but guess what? A quarter and a half for the New England Patriots is a lot. They ended up winning that game 52-28, and they crushed Buffalo.
I watched the whole game because before the season I bet Buffalo to win the division because I thought that was actually a really good line. I believe in the Super Bowl loser. I believe that they're worthless the next year. Of the last 13 Super Bowl losers, only 5 have made the playoffs the next year.
Yeah.
And Buffalo being like plus 300 to win the division, I said, well, I'll just take a shot with this.
Yeah,
because I didn't believe in the Jets or Miami.
I don't like that game. The line's down to 6.5, and so I see the direction it's heading in. People like betting Peyton Manning. New England hasn't looked impressive. I can see people taking Denver with the points. You know, these two quarterbacks have a rivalry that goes way back. It's right down the middle, so the betting public is not on Denver. It's they're half and half. So I mean, I don't like that game. But again,
I know what Bill Belichick's record is against Peyton, though. He seems to be his daddy.
Yeah, you're probably right. If I was betting the game, I'd probably come out on the favorite. I don't like any of these games that you've selected, but dude, I really hope that you go 4-0 and crush the bookies. I really do.
2 weeks ago, y'all didn't like much. I was 1 point away from being 4-0.
That's true, man.
Well, don't think we didn't know that. We were only hoping you didn't call in last week, and you didn't.
I woke up at like 7:30, and I was like, ugh. So now I got smart and I set an alarm for 6 o'clock. Of course, I got off early last night, so I slept like 10 or 11 hours. I'm bouncing around, flipping between the football game and baseball as I'm talking to y'all.
Yeah, dude, we give you respect, man. We value your opinion.
Guys, thank y'all so much for having me on. I enjoy y'all's work. And, it's good to hear a show that's devoted to this because there just really aren't any out there that will spend an hour and a half, taking the time to dissect certain things, certain trends, Sean, I guess is the word.
Sean, we appreciate you calling in. Like us on Facebook, What Are the Odds? We're also on Twitter, @BetBobbyDinero and @SportsJamVince. Anytime, get in contact with us. We'd love to have you on the show, man. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
Thanks, brother.
All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
You too, man. Take care.
All right, guys.
Baseball update.
Well,
give it to me.
That's it's always nice having Sean on the show because he is very knowledgeable about gambling.
He is.
And it's nice to have somebody on here. It's 6-3. It looks like it's in the bottom of the 7th.
Okay.
No, actually, it's the top of the 8th.
That's good because I know Deland had guys on. Good. Okay.
All right. So you're still in good shape there.
Any other callers, or that's our one caller? That's our one fan. That's our one listener.
No, I'm sure we'll get more callers. Actually, the call-in number, if you want to call in and speak to Bobby about some game this weekend, is 646-716-6359. Again, that's 646-716-6359.
You want to talk some gambling?
Sure.
You want to do some gambling?
Well, let's do it.
Well, we can't come out in this game. You know that I've come out on it personally. Let's talk about the other baseball game tonight, Baltimore at Texas.
And we're only going to get preempted by another phone call, but let's do this. I know Texas Rangers versus Baltimore tonight. It's in Texas.
Okay.
You got Darvish pitching for Texas, and I think you love Texas.
I do, but like Sean said, okay, you got to be careful betting huge favorites. They're 2-1 favorite. We've already, we don't profess to like to do this, but in this particular case, we bet parlays with the Rams last night, and we bet parlays with St. Louis into that game tonight, so we didn't have to lay the 2-1. Okay, you understand how we avoided getting crushed at 2-1. God forbid Texas loses this game. But you know what? We like Darvish. We don't like Saunders. Texas, I had them in the last game of the season against Oakland, and they really looked like that they were asleep. They did not look like themselves. They were hanging their hats, making errors, routine plays, dropping fly balls. This did not look like a playoff team or a team that's going anywhere. I think
the last 9 games they were 2-7.
Yeah, 2-7. And again, we don't like betting on teams that are freezing. And Baltimore just finds a way to continue to win. So why wouldn't they find a way tonight? It's probably great value for the betting public at plus 185 right now.
Wow.
We don't like Saunders. We think that Darvish is going to show why he got $100 million or whatever he got against a bunch of guys that love.
Well, he got $60 million, but it cost $50 million just to negotiate with him.
Yeah.
So they spent $110 million to get him, I think.
I think he's going to show tonight why, and I think Texas will wake up tonight. Do we want to lay 2-1? No. In real life, did I lay 2-1? No. And I need the game huge. Unfortunately, we're gonna with Sports Jam fake dollars, we're gonna lay 2-1 for a dime.
So we're gonna take Texas.
We're gonna risk 2,000 of our hard-earned winnings.
I thought you said a dime.
Well, we're risking 2,000.
Oh, I see. So
we're so this could be. Listen, this is educational, obviously. These are the pitfalls that you want to stay away from. Again,
the pitfalls you want to stay for, but you're going to bet it anyway.
No, but in our real life, in the real world, we need the game because we have, well, hopefully.
Hold on for a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of this show? To earn.
True.
So what are you selling me? Are you telling me that we may not be earning?
No, we're going to earn.
You're not comfortable with this bet?
I'm comfortable. I'm very comfortable.
So you like the fact that we're going to bet a dime.
Yeah,
we could lose 2 dimes.
But that's what I don't like. You want to know why? Because if we start out the weekend dropping 2 dimes, we're going to, chase our tail all weekend trying to get
Texas is minus 200.
We got to get it home.
Is that what it is, minus 200?
Minus 200. We got to get Darvish home.
You Darvish.
We're going to risk a dime on it. Okay?
All right.
Our hard-earned winnings.
Hey, you know what? It's good.
But again, in real life, I didn't lay the 2-1, and I need the game very big.
All right.
All right.
So I know that we're going to stick with baseball for a little bit here, and I know we're going to go with some series. Is that correct?
Yes, we are.
We're going to go. And we're going to wager some Sports Jam bucks. These may not. Will these be over by next week? We don't know.
Well, they might not. No.
May not be. Okay, so these.
Well, they're 5 games here. Yeah, they will be. They'll be over.
All right.
Okay.
Let's talk about them. Which one you want to go with first?
Oakland and Detroit. Okay? We are now a believer in Oakland. I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I'm going to play Oakland in the series against Detroit at plus 130.
Oakland plus 130.
Yes. I know they have Verlander. I know they have Cabrera. I know they have Venn, Prince, and Scherzer, and all these guys.
How much money before I tell you you're an idiot?
A dime.
A dime.
Yeah. All these baseball players are all going to be elevated financially because this is the time for us to kill it.
Now, and let's just talk about this for a second.
Yes.
You want to go up against, and this is a 5-game series.
Don't like Oakland in the first game. I know we are going with this already.
No. These games are switched around with the new layout this year.
Oakland has the home field.
Oakland has home field advantage?
Yeah.
They do.
2 games in Detroit, then 3 in Oakland.
And you have potentially... You're going to see Justin Verlander twice.
I'm getting Sunday's game in Detroit to even up the series at 1-1, and then Oakland has to win 2 out of 3 in the Coliseum and end it.
So what you're telling me is you're telling me that you're going to go ahead and concede the first game.
Yeah, I actually might bet Detroit in the first game and lay big wood with Verlander. Yes, I might.
Wow.
He's going to be laying 2-1 as well.
That's something that being a square, I would never think of doing. I don't get it.
You're not really betting against yourself.
You're just betting what you feel is going to win you money. Period. Of the story.
Right. You say, how can you bet 1,000 on Oakland in the series, and you're going to drop a bomb on Verlander in the first game? Well, the first game doesn't really mean that much.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Come on.
It doesn't.
Stop. In a 5-game series? Are you kidding me?
It doesn't. Not when you have 3.
Stop it.
Not when you have 3 on the back end at home.
Stop it.
Listen, they don't want to go down 0-2. We're going to bet Detroit in the first game and Oakland in the second against Scherzer. The only thing I don't like is the noontime start on Sunday, which means that Oakland will be playing at...
Oh, well, maybe we should call Major League Baseball and see if they'll change the time.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, hey, listen, if you live in California, that's 9 o'clock in the morning.
You're insane.
That's 9 o'clock in the morning.
I don't care. You're insane. Stop. You're going to take Oakland in the series, but take Detroit in the first game.
That's right. That's right.
You know what?
We're not going to do it with sports jam bucks. I'm talking about real life stuff. Okay?
Yeah, but we're not doing this in sports jam bucks here?
The series.
On the series.
The series. We're not coming out on Verlander because there's no way we're going to bet 2-1 on 2 games because we're going to ask to get whacked, which we're not going to do. Okay?
Well, typically, I'm going to go way off base here, but just talk to you.
Go.
Typically, you ever listen to the Howard Stern show?
All the time.
All the time, me too. And Howard has what he calls the whack pack.
Yeah.
Well, guess what we got?
We got a whack packer?
I think we got Fat One on the phone.
Bring him on.
Hold on just a second. Yo!
Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Fa-fa-fa-wai, fa-fa-fa-wai.
What's up, Woodrow?
What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much, man. What's cooking?
Nothing. I had to call in because I absolutely 150% agree with you. Why isn't the Detroit Tigers laying at least $1.70 in this series?
Well, because, this Billy Bean or whatever that's being played there in Oakland, I like myself.
I got a bad connection. Hold on, I can't hear you that well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good.
Okay, I hear you a little bit better. I don't know. I just feel that that line should be more than 1/3. I agree with you 100%. I love Oakland in the series.
I do. I really do. But I don't think they're going to win the first game against Verlander. I think they have a bit of a letdown after that big emotional win the division thing against Texas. They'll probably lay down for Detroit in the first game, but then I think they'll wake back up.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that. I mean, Vince is calling you a whack packer on that, but I mean, I kind of see your angle there. Verlander is one of the best pitchers in the league, if not the best pitcher. So, yeah, I mean, what's a 5-game series, right?
Right.
I mean, it's got to take some. You got to reach down deep to do that.
Yeah,
but you've been known to do that before.
Dude, I'm reaching down between my legs, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because, the normal person is not going to do that. So I do like Oakland in the series. I don't know what's going to happen in the first game. I love Oakland in the series. I hear what you're saying about this game tonight. I actually did not risk the 2-1. I'm going to use Darvish with 2 college football games tomorrow.
Yeah, I understand that theory, and I don't know if you listened. I used them with the Rams on Thursday night. And I also used him with St. Louis, a last-minute John Kerry flip-flop.
Wow. Looks like it might have been a good flip-flop, 6-3 in the 8th.
I know, I flip-flop. Hey, you know what? I was going to come out on the total, too. I love the over. And I said to myself, you know what? Don't get cocky. Try to get 1, not 2. And now I wish I would have had the total. Because that was a winner already, 6.5.
Right. Wow.
You know what? Why? Listen, this is the time to earn. You got to kill them now. Baseball playoffs, got to take advantage. Got to take advantage.
Yeah, every year it's good. It's good. I want to touch on that game last night. Is the Rams defense that good, or is the Cardinal offensive line that bad?
A little bit of both, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a little bit of both. I think St. Louis does have a real good defense. I mean, that's what's held them in games so far, even though their record doesn't show it. But, I think Arizona's had a pretty easy schedule up to now, and their offensive line showed that. I mean, they did not establish a running game at all last night.
Right, if they don't start blocking somebody, I don't know how long that Kevin Cobb's the quarterback over there. He got knocked around like a bobblehead last night.
Yeah, he is the backup, too, And the line trickled up to 3, too, late, which made it so much more lucrative to jump all over the Rams.
Right. They were betting the the other side late. So I want to touch on a couple of college football games tomorrow.
Real quick, we got 15 minutes left. Who do you like in college football?
Well, like I said, I'm going to use Darvish tonight, and I'm going to use Darvish with Notre Dame over Miami, laying big points in Soldier Field, by the way.
Yeah, I looked at that game. That looks pretty appetizing, laying
too many points.
Yep.
And then I'm going to other than that way for and then I'm going to use What's the other one here? I'm looking. Texas. That's too many points.
Yeah, I looked at that as well.
I mean, I would have to say the betting public is going to. I'm trying to see who they. I'm looking at it right now. Sorry, guys. Who they're?
That's okay.
You know who Texas is playing here?
Yeah, Texas is playing.
Oh, West Virginia. Don't they have that quarterback that went crazy? Is he on that?
Yes.
Geno Smith.
Yes. I mean, after what the country saw last week, Geno Smith, West Virginia is actually ranked higher. Okay, I know they're on the road. I don't know if they've ever even played Texas and Austin. You guys probably have that literature in front of you. I don't remember the last time West Virginia has ever went to Texas, but I mean, I don't know. I think 7's too much for a quarterback that threw for 600-something yards and 8 touchdowns or something.
Yeah, they're both 4-0, 7 versus 9. The betting public's on West Virginia. I agree with you, but let me tell you something. And I'm sure you're going to be able to agree with this.
All right.
I never win with Texas. For some reason, every time it looks good, they never cover.
Yeah, I know. I have bad memories of that, too.
They're one of those teams, man, that don't matter, dude. You just don't win with them. I mean, that's me personally. I don't know if you had experience with them.
He just said he has bad memories.
Yeah,
what do you think of the What do you think of the total? 74. Is that because Geno Smith?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
I mean, I don't like the total being that high. I mean,
74, Jesus.
And what's the? I want to ask you guys one question because you guys are always prepared, unlike me when it comes to storylines going on in the country. What's going on in the Georgia-South Carolina game? Did somebody get hurt or somebody out for Georgia? Because why is South Carolina's only laying 1 point?
I don't know, but the betting public's 50-50. It's 5 versus 6. Yeah, 1.5. They're both 5-0. I mean, I love Georgia until I started to look deep. They're betting Georgia. There must be an injury in this game.
I think there is.
There has to be.
I'm going to do some research tonight. I think there is.
How's Spurrier only laying 1.5 at home?
Right.
I don't know. I'd be careful. Hey, listen, unlike the last guy, Wad likes 3 favorites. He likes Darvish tonight laying the big wood. He likes Notre Dame laying the big wood. And he likes Texas laying a touchdown.
Which is very unlike me, but that's who I'm coming up with right now.
The other guy, dogs, you like 3 favorites. That's good. That's a nice,
And let me tell you something about the last caller, Sean, you guys have. I'm starting to respect his opinion a little bit, too, because 2 weeks ago when I was on your show, by the way, sorry I couldn't get with you last week, but 2 weeks I was on your show. 2 weeks ago, this guy raved about the total. I think he bet the over in one of the...
On Friday night. Yeah. Yeah, he was golden.
It was like 7-6 after the first quarter, and I'm saying,
oh,
this guy's crazy. And then they scored 85 points.
I know. I don't know who this guy is. I might have to take a trip down to Louisiana and meet this guy.
Exactly. So, I don't know. I mean,
hey, he's got me intrigued.
I might bet the under tonight. He was talking strongly about the under.
He'll probably get smoked this week.
Yeah.
Oh, you said he did bad. You didn't call in last week, but he said he didn't do well.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. Wow.
Well, I mean, his reasoning behind, I mean, he gives good reasoning, no doubt about it.
He does. He's got good logic. He's very informed.
Yes.
He's tremendously informed. He's got a lot of knowledge.
Well, he deals poker in Louisiana, right?
Right.
Isn't that what he says?
And not only that, loves your show. Got to respect that. He sets his alarm for you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really.
I mean that I have to respect that, and you guys should be proud. You got a couple good listeners here, and hopefully we're going to grow this show a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Absolutely.
Hey, Dick, we wish you luck as usual.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and listen to the rest of the show. Enjoy your weekend, and the bottom line is to earn, Bobby.
That's it, baby. Go.
All right, you guys have a good weekend.
Thanks, Fat Wad. Have a nice weekend.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, bye.
Maybe we should go. We got 10 minutes left. Maybe we should go.
No, we can. I think we have a little extra time tonight if we need it. So.
Okay. I was going to say, you want to go right to picks or no?
No, let's take one more phone call for the night. We have a phone call coming in from the 781 area code, which I believe is in Massachusetts. You're on there with Bobby and Vince. How you doing tonight?
Good, and you?
Good. Who are we talking to?
Caveman.
Yo, Caveman, what's
Eagle
up? Oh, man, this guy's from my fraternity. I went to college with him. This guy's the best.
What's up?
What's going on, KV?
How you doing?
Good, man. Everything's good.
It's all good. Yeah, I got the email. I'm like, I got to call in. Let me ask you a question.
Great. You know what? I sent it out to a lot of the brothers. I didn't know if the emails were still good. I haven't talked to a lot of you guys in 10, 15, 20 years.
Yep. I still talk to Slack.
I'm glad that you got it and called in. Hopefully some other guys are listening. How's
I
life
hope
treating you?
So let me ask. So what percentage of money went high up when they were replacing refs to regular refs?
You know what? We talked about it extensively in the first 3 weeks. It wasn't really a percentage of money. It did actually cost.
Like I know that Green Bay Seattle game went crazy.
Yeah, and that was really the pinnacle, I think, to bringing back the real ones.
Right.
We talked about it, pretty extensively over the last couple of weeks, Caveman.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the new refs are back, though.
Oh, definitely. Makes a totally difference. I'm sure the lines are different, too.
Are you in Massachusetts or no?
Oh, yeah, I'm still in Massachusetts.
Are you doing any gambling up there or no?
Nah. We just need a new manager.
Well, maybe you will after you listen to the show. How's your brother doing?
All right, Igor.
How's your brother?
Good. He's in Tampa.
Good, man. Tell him I said what's up.
All right.
All right, baby. Good luck with the New England.
I'm listening on the computer right now.
Thanks, KV.
All right, no problem. Later.
Thanks for calling, man.
You're welcome.
There it is. Caveman. We got Fat Wad. We got Caveman. We're building our own whack pack.
Oh, I'm glad that he called, man. Good guy. He's a great guy. Big Boston guy. You tell from the accent.
All right, good. So we have, around about 10 minutes or so left in the show. We've got Texas. We've got Oakland in the series against Detroit. We going to do anything in college football this week?
Oh, first we got to go back to the other series that starts tomorrow. San Fran against Cincinnati.
My bad. I think I'm gonna light you up on this one.
Yeah, you're going to be upset. And I like the Reds too. Growing up, the big red machine, all that thing.
Stop it. Just get to the point.
I love San Fran. Cincinnati's laying 130. We're going to take San Fran plus 110 for a dime in the series.
San Francisco plus 110.
Yes.
For 1,000 Sport Jam bucks?
That's right.
In the series.
We're increasing our bet on this baseball here.
In the series?
Yes, in the series.
You're out of your mind.
I know you like Cincy. Your heart's with Cincy.
It's just not that my heart's with Cincy. I mean, look at it.
Look at what?
Are you kidding me, Cincinnati? I mean, even though San Francisco has the names on the pitching staff, they really haven't been pitching that well lately.
True.
So Cincinnati has some arms now. You put that, mix that into the fact with they've got a powerful lineup. Are you kidding me?
Powerful.
What?
If you stay away from Votto, that lineup's a joke. I disagree.
Stop.
I think if they beat Cueto, it's over. It's over tomorrow if Kane beats Cueto.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. I don't know who the Reds are throwing out there, but you got Bumgarner. You got what's the kid's name over there? The kid that had a horrible year that was on my fantasy team.
Who are you talking about?
I can't even remember his name. That's how bad he was.
A Cincinnati Red?
No, the giant guy. The one that has that wacky
Lincecum.
Yeah, Lincecum.
Oh, my God. They don't even know if he's going to start Game 3.
Really?
That's what I heard. I mean, come on.
I don't like the Reds.
You got Cueto. You got Matt Latos. I mean, Homer Bailey just pitched a no-hitter not too long ago. Bronson Arroyo.
It does look juicy, doesn't it? And they have the 3 games at home.
And I really don't know how you can say what you can say. I mean, honestly,
listen.
I mean, you've got Brandon Phillips at second base, who's a beast. You got Joey Votto.
I know you like the Reds.
Jay Bruce.
Take it easy.
Drew Stubbs.
If they win one in San Fran's in trouble. If San Fran beats them the first 2, Cincinnati's in trouble because they're not going to beat them 3 in a row at Riverfront. Is it still Riverfront?
No, it's not.
Oh, well, they're not going to beat them 3 in a row there. Trust me.
Riverfront, stop.
And with the series starting in Candlestick.
All right. So we got our baseball bets down. We got Texas versus Baltimore tonight for 1,000 Sport Jam bucks.
Ow.
We're laying 200 to Baltimore.
Ow.
Oakland and Detroit in the series. Oakland's plus 130. We got a dime on that, Sports Jam bucks. And now you're saying, boy, you're a real...
I'm going in the Bay Area.
I know we're having a couple adult beverages, but are you out of your mind?
Dude, I'm going back to Cali. I am. I'm going.
So
back.
you're taking the Giants plus 110 and the Giants-Cincinnati series for another dime.
West Coast is the best coast.
For all of you listening on the West Coast, that ain't true.
College football, real quick.
College football,
We're not going to get crazy. We're going to be selective. We like a couple of games. We're not going to risk a lot.
Go ahead.
Okay, Connecticut at number 21, Rutgers. Rutgers is now ranked in the top 25, 4-0. We like Connecticut taking the bus ride over, getting 7.
All right, and what are we going to wager on that game?
400 sports jam bucks.
400 sports jam bucks.
Yeah, and we're also going to go against another undefeated team, Northwestern, number 22 in the nation, at Penn State. Happy Valley. Is that called Happy Valley?
Yeah.
Well, we like Penn State in that game. -2.5.
We like Penn State -2.5.
Yeah, they're both at noon, and we'll put $4 on that game as well, just for entertainment purposes.
What are you
Don't
trying to say? We're not trying to earn?
No, we are. I just don't like the college football Saturday. I don't want to say that I'm going to come out on nobody.
All right.
So we're going to both of those games are at noon. We'll play them for $4 a piece. I do like a lot of pro games. I'm not going to give them all to you because we're going to be selective and we're going to try to narrow it down. Miami at Cincinnati. We're going back to Miami.
Miami Dolphins versus Cincinnati.
Yep. Give me Miami for 600 plus 3.
Miami +3
for 600.
And you know what? Normally, I would tell you that I would question you on some of these picks.
You are.
Even though I think Rutgers is going to win that game, I don't think they cover, so therefore I think Connecticut +7 is a good bet.
I'm thinking it's going to be a low-scoring game. You know, the total's low. They're both defensive-oriented. You know, I don't know. Rutgers actually could lose that game outright. Connecticut has a good program, believe it or not. It's one of the unknown programs.
No, there's no doubt about it. I mean,
we know about it because we're over here. But.
All right. And Penn State -2.5 against Northwestern. I like that as well.
I'm also going to play against another undefeated team, and again, this is kind of the theme for this week. What are the odds? You know, in pro football, you know, the odds are that these teams that are undefeated are not going to go undefeated. You know, with parity and things of that nature.
Get to the point.
I like Washington over Atlanta +3 at home.
Washington
RG3.
Washington +3 versus Atlanta
+3 for 600.
For 600.
And by the way, their first win at 8:20 on Sunday night against San Diego. Laid at 3.5, laid at 4.5, laid 5.5, laid 7.5. They're going to blow them out. Not because I'm a Saints fan.
Well, before you go there, I can't write that fast, but let's dissect this game here. Washington and Atlanta.
Yeah.
I know you don't care because you've made that perfectly clear.
Right.
Washington's 1-3 in the last 4 games against Atlanta against the spread.
Slow track in Washington. Atlanta plays indoors. I know it doesn't really matter because we're only in October. The game should be slow, although the total is 51.5. Oh my God, that scares me. That really scares me. I got to be honest with you. That just jumped off the page at me. I'm still going to go with Washington, but I don't love it at 51.5. I like it much better at 43.5. That's a very high total for a game that's on a slow track.
So you like Washington +3 for 600 sports jam bucks?
Yes.
We like the Miami Dolphins versus Cincinnati +3
yes.
for 600 sports. And the reason I like that game is because the last 10 times Miami's played at Cincinnati, they're 8-2 against the spread. So
wow.
I like that.
Wow.
I like that.
You know, Miami's played some good, defensive games. They've come close a couple times. They've come up short. They're 1-3 versus 3-1.
I agree with you. You know what? They've looked good.
It totals 45.
I don't think Miami's close to being really good.
They should exchange touchdowns. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
the last person to have the ball wins. And for entertainment purposes, we're going to take a 4:00 game.
No, hold on. Before we get to that 4:00 game, let's talk about this New Orleans San Diego game.
Okay. Well, that's the 8:30 game.
Okay. So, but you mentioned it.
Okay.
New Orleans.
Well, I'm getting excited because the Saints are going to get their first victory.
You want New Orleans -3.5.
I'm getting excited because the Saints are going to get their first victory.
Talk to me. New Orleans -3.5 is what you want.
Talk to me. There's a delay in the baseball game. What inning is that?
Is that what you want?
Yeah, for $3, just because I'm rooting for my team. And you know what?
So New Orleans for 300 sports jam bucks.
I'm caught up in it. I told you guys not to bet with your heart.
But you are.
Not really.
All right.
Not really.
All right, and there's one more pro game you like.
Yes.
What is it?
It's at 4:25, I believe.
What game is that?
That is the Tennessee-Minnesota game.
Tennessee, and what's the spread in that game?
5.5.
Tennessee's plus 5.5?
Yes, and we love Tennessee to cover the 5.5.
We love Tennessee.
Yep.
Okay.
Which means we're going to bet a dime on.
And no matter what I tell you, I can tell you Minnesota's 3-1 the last 4 times they played Tennessee against the spread. You don't care.
Terrific. That's great.
That's even more of a reason why you would bet it, right?
Maybe. I really don't care.
While we're here on Friday, 5th, 2012, enjoying an adult beverage, you don't care.
No, I do care about how much did we risk.
How much we risk in the Tennessee-Minnesota game?
A dime.
What?
A dime.
Really?
Yeah. And now tell me how much we risked. So when my bankroll gets cut in half next week, I'll understand why.
I'm not so sure. It'll be more than that. All right, we got a dime, 2 dimes, 3 dimes on the baseball. We got
really 4 dimes because Darvish is laying.
Right, 44, 5, 6, 6,300 Sport Jam bucks.
Whew. Almost half our bank, a little less than half our bankroll.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you figure Darvish is laying 2-1, we could lose 2,000 in that game tonight. That is half our bankroll. We got like 7 dimes at risk. We're really coming out. My plan was to be conservative. We didn't do that. You see what I'm saying? This is why we're doing the show. This is unbelievable. You can't pay for this. Forget about paying $50 for some jerk-off 5-star pick, okay, out of the newspaper. This, what we're giving out here, is tremendous knowledge. And people that are listening, the very few, should learn and potentially earn from it. And that's what we're shooting for. All right? I like our picks. We're hot. We're rolling. I don't know what's going on in that Braves game, but hopefully.
It's 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th right now.
6-3 bottom of the 8th? There's a delay in the game. What's the story? Braves have guys on, or?
Yes. Looks like they do. Looks like they got runners on 2nd and 3rd.
How many out?
2 outs.
Okay. All right. We got to get that one home, baby. We got to get Darvish home. I mean, let's face it. If we dump Darvish tonight at 2-1 and we drop 2 dimes on a Friday night, we're in trouble. I got to be honest with you. We're in trouble. We'll be licking our wounds next week. If we get it home and we win 1,000 to start the weekend off, we'll be all right. I don't condone betting 2-1 favorites. We're doing it tonight. I'm not doing it in my personal life, but we're going to do it with the sports jam world.
All right.
All right?
Sounds good. It's Friday, October the 5th, 2012.
Listen, the key is to earn and bet less games. Be conservative, bet less games. If you want to bet more money on less games. Don't go crazy. That's the key.
All right, you got anything else you want to add?
Not really.
No? All right, it looks like we're going to wrap up this session of What Are the Odds? I want to give a quick shout out to Angelica at My Zen Studios. Thanks for all your help. We appreciate it very much. And I'm Vince O'Connor for Bobby De Niro on the Sports Jam Network. Good night, guys. Thanks for listening.